In this session we will be discussing user program menus 1 through 5. To enter the user program menu, we simply press the Alt key. This will display the first menu on the menuing tree. The up and down arrows will allow us to go up and down the menu. So if I press the up arrow, that goes to reset smoke detectors and so forth as we walk up the menus here. If I would like to go into a menu, for instance in this case it's menu 1, which is view control or the automation functions, we press the right arrow key, which is indicated by the right arrow indicator. So I press the right arrow, and that takes us to a sub-menu, and the first item in that sub-menu is tasks. We can also go up and down this sub-menu. The next item is lighting and outputs, temperature sensors, keypad temperature, thermostat temperature, and then it wraps back around to tasks again. If tasks are the item that I would like to access, here again I have the right arrow indicator, which means to press the right arrow. That will enter into the task menu. Here we're showing the name, the default name is task 1, and it's saying task 1 pound activates. In the example of tasks here, a task is something like water the lawn. It's something that we activate like a macro, and that macro begins operation on it and then finishes. So in this case, in order to activate the task, we would press the pound key, and that would turn on the task to be activated. To back up out of any menu, we press the Alt key, and that will back up one level. So now we're back to the sub menu where task was the first item. If we go up one item, we now go to lighting, and here again we can enter into the lighting menu by pressing the right arrow key, and it goes to the first lighting item here, light 01. Currently it is off. We can press the pound key to change. So if I press the pound key, that turns the light on, and press it again will turn the light off. To go to another lighting item, if there are more lighting items that have the show bit set, which we'll discuss later how to set that, but we could press the up arrow. If there's no other items, it will ask for the light number. So if I would like to go to light number 5, I'd put in 005, and now we've at light number 5. Light number 5 does not have a name assigned to it, but here again I can turn it on and turn it off with the pound key. So now I'll press the Alt button to back up the lighting, and now we'll go up to the next one. The next one is outputs. This menu allows us to control any output on the M1. Output 3 is the relay that is on the M1 board, so I'll access that by putting in 003. It shows up output 3. Currently it's off. If I press the pound key, you should hear a click. That means that we have turned on the relay. Press it again, turns off the relay. So here again we can access any output by going up or down with the up and down arrow. If the show bit is not set on the output, we'll have to put in the output number. Okay, I'll press the Alt key to back up, and we're back to outputs. The next item is temperature sensors. I don't have any temperature sensors connected to this unit, but if we want to see the temperature on any of the temperature sensors that could be connected to zones 1 through 16, we'd press the right arrow key. And since we have none installed on this system, we'd have to put in the number of the sensor That'd be 0, 1 through 16. And I will back up with the Alt key. Next item is keypad temperature. If we'd like to see the temperature of any of the keypads on the system, we hit the right arrow key. In this case, we have keypad 1, the one we're working on here, and it's telling us that it's 78 degrees currently. If we had more keypads, we could press the up or down arrow to access them. In this case, it's asking for the next keypad since we don't have one. I'll press the Alt key to back up and go up. That takes us to thermostat temperatures. If we had thermostats on the system, we could look at the temperature of any of those thermostats. Currently, we don't have any thermostats on the system. So we'll back up, and that's the end of this menu 1. We'll go back to the top of the menu list. The next item, if we press up or 2, would get us to the 2 item. I'll just press the up key. That's reset smoke detectors. In this case, in order to reset smoke detectors hooked to the M1, we have a power output that will be turned off for 5 seconds if we enter this reset smoke detector menu. So we use the right arrow key, press that. There was a click. It's now timing out for 5 seconds on the smoke detectors. Now that smoke detector power has cleared and everything's back to normal. In this case, it jumps back to the running menu when the smoke detector power has been restored. So we'll get back in the menu by hitting the Alt key, and then we'll go up to the third menu. That's the second menu, reset smoke detectors. Third menu is walk test. We'll enter into the walk test. The walk test allows us to test doors and windows or switches in the system. We should be done on a monthly basis anyway. So we'll enter into the walk test mode, and currently I have one zone, which is zone 1, enabled, and it's telling me I have tested none of one zone. If I had 16 zones, it would say none of 16 zones have been tested. So what I will do, I will violate zone 1, and now it's telling me I've tested one of one zone on the system. I can also hit the right arrow key and find out any zones that have not been tested. In this case, we have tested all the zones on the system. And I'll hit the Alt key to back out of this menu. Then we'll go to menu 4, which is the view history. If I hit the right arrow key, we'll be able to see the first item on the history log here. This is log item 1, October 24th at 12 midnight. It was a dialer test. To go up and down, if we go up, we'll see the next item, which is log item 2 on October 23rd. This is military time, is 5:34 or 17:34. It was exception opening, which means it was disarmed after an alarm occurred. It was by user 1, and it was in area 1, and so forth. We can go up the logs, and we can go down. If we go past the first one, it'll show up the very last log in the system, which is log number 512, which indicates here a log end. So I'll back out of the log menu, and we'll go up to the next item. This allows us to view the status of all the zones on the system. So I'll enter that with the right arrow, and currently it shows zone 1 is normal, and I have violated zone 1, and it's showing a not ready. So if we had other zones in the system, I could go up and down, but being I only have one zone defined in the system, I cannot go up or down to the other zones. So now I have restored that zone. As you notice here, the equal sign means that it is now end of line resistor supervised. When I short it, if you'll notice, the minus indicates that the zone is shorted to ground. If it was open, it would be a plus sign here. So I'll back out, and this ends the list that we're going through in this session. So I'll back out to the main running menu here. And this concludes description of menus 1 through 5.